A reading from Genesis chapter 16, verses 13 to 14. She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees me, for she said, I have now seen the one who sees me. That is the way the well was called, Ber Lahai Rei. The woman said, I know the Messiah, called Christ, is coming. When he comes, he will explain everything to us. Then Jesus declared, I, the one speaking to you, I am he. Then leaving her water jar, the woman went back to the town and said to the people, Come, see a man who told me everything I ever did. Could this be the Messiah? They came out of the town and made their way towards him. This is the word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Thank you, Akin. Okay, so yes, today we are hearing about El Roi, the God who sees us. And we just heard from two passages, one from the Old Testament, one from the New. And these are two very different passages, but with some big similarities. Our first passage is taken from the story of Hagar and Sarah and Abraham. I don't know if you're aware of this story. We often hear about Abraham and Sarah, great figures in the Old Testament. But Hagar was an interesting woman. She was an Egyptian and a slave in her own home. She belonged to Abraham and Sarah. And in this story, Hagar then bears the child of Abraham because Sarah couldn't have her own children. So we have a woman who has no choice for herself, no freedom for herself. And in her circumstances, it became too much and she fled. She left the home and ran out into the desert alone. And then she finds herself by a well and meets God. And God tells her that he sees all of her story, everything that is going on for her. She looks at God and says, I know what I'll call you. I'll call you the God who sees me. Finally, for the first time, this woman who had no status, no power, no choice for herself, felt seen. And then we come to our second passage, which was from the New Testament, from the book of John. And we have the woman at the well. And I think that we had this reading recently, didn't we? And the woman at the well, Jesus has traveled through Samaria. Jesus is a Jewish man. The woman at the well is a Samaritan woman. We don't even know her name. And Jesus meets her there. She's at the well on her own because it's the heat of the day. We all know what it's like right now to be out in the heat of the day. We don't want to be there. But she has come out in the heat of the day because she is outcast. She doesn't have a husband. She's known for not really holding her relationships down. She doesn't have status because of it. And Jesus meets her there and tells her everything that he sees about her circumstances. He tells her that he knows about her history and he knows about her life. And he tells her that he's going to give her the gift of living water, the gift of God, the gift of life in its fullness. This woman who thinks that she is nothing and doesn't belong in society is seen by God, seen by Jesus. And not only seen, but he offers her hope. He offers her a gift and tells her that you may think it's like this, but I see more for you. And so I've been mulling on these stories this week and thinking about what this really means, because there's something that we feel in ourselves when we're seen. And I've been trying to kind of figure out what that is and what that looks like and how do we describe that. And I'm going to go elsewhere for a minute, which is Tesco. Who shops in Tesco? Aldi? Maybe Aldi? Asda? I don't know. We do all three, a bit of a mix. But whenever I end up in Tesco with Tom, who's my husband, I take a list, like a long list, check it off. I am prepared in Tesco, guys. Tom, not so much. You do sometimes, don't you? You have a list sometimes. But particularly when we were first married, our journey to Tesco would be something like, I'll have my list and I'm like buying us healthy dinners and planning, do we have milk for the week and all these kind of things. And Tom is looking for the newest, highest protein product on the shelf. That's what Tom goes to Tesco for, right, my love? But he had this, it happened quite a few times, had this amazing ability. We'd be walking around Tesco. I am like, eyes to the floor. I feel terrible because if I ever bump into someone in Tesco, it takes me a minute because I'm so in the zone. Like, eyes to the floor, I'm checking my list. I'm like, that's here, that's there. I'm getting my list. And Tom, out of the blue, will just go, ooh, oh, look. And we come home with like 3 different new protein shakes and this new, I don't know, what do they do, like protein oats and all of these things. You've got to try it. But it has this ability to find new protein. It's a gift. And then I was thinking about Leah, and just the last few weeks, Leah asked me a while ago, she said, Mummy, can we go ladybird hunting? And I was like, I haven't seen a single ladybird this year, so I don't know. Yeah, sure, we can try. And we went out into the garden, and I was sat like just on this little patch in the garden, and I just thought, go hunt for ladybirds, fine. And she's like, there's one there, there's one there, there's one. Oh my gosh, Mummy, there's one. She's like coming back with ladybirds. And now, when we're just walking around, she'll make me jump because she'll go, ladybird! I'm just like, oh my gosh, she's seen another one. Even yesterday, I had one had like flown onto the side of my head, and she's like in my ear. She's like, ladybird, in my ear. So excited to see the ladybirds. And I think that this maybe explains some of the story to us and some of what God is like. Because when I was sat in the garden with Leah, I was looking at the grass that need mowing and like all the weeds that had grown up the side of the garden and the rockery it's looking fine. Mum put the rockery in, it's looking fine, but it needs a bit of work. And all these jobs, you're distracted by all the jobs, you've got things to do. And when I'm in Tesco, I'm thinking about, have I got everything on the list? Have I ticked everything off? Is this coming under budget? Like, you're trying to just keep focus. And I'm not seeing the things that they're seeing. I'm not seeing protein on the shelves. I'm not seeing the ladybirds flying around. And I think the reason they see those things is because we look for the stuff we love. Is that right, Tom? Protein, yes. We look for the stuff we love. But we do. I have a friend who just loves yellow things, and she literally is like pointing out yellow things everywhere. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine, yes, yellow things. We look for what we love. And when God meets these women, he does not see that their relationships have failed, or that their home life is difficult. He sees that stuff because he cares about it, but he doesn't see that in their identity. He doesn't say, that's who you are. He looks at them and says, you are my child, you're loved. He sees their heart and the wonderful things that he created in them. When Hagar says, you are El Roy, the God who sees me, it's because she sat there for the first time knowing that all those things that no one else had ever recognized in her, God was seeing it. God was seeing what she could bring and what her value was. And the woman at the well, so pushed out and forgotten by the people around her, suddenly offered this amazing hope from Jesus. This amazing hope that you are not defined by your challenges, by your history, by what other people see of you. But God is looking for what he loves in us. And God sees the value in us and the beauty in us. And when he looks at us, he really sees us. He really sees us. And so as we go out from here today, I hope that we can leave knowing that we are truly, truly seen by God. Whatever it is that feels unseen, that God knows it and God sees it and recognizes it and loves you for it. That he loves you for who you are. I'm also challenged that I'm not always looking for that stuff. And that I could learn from how God sees others and how God sees our world. I can be really quick to see the disasters and the things that we think are going wrong or the things that people get wrong. And actually, we are called to see people with the loving eyes of God to see each other as God looks at us. I'm challenged. So I'm going to pray, and please join me if you want to. Loving God, we thank you that you are El Roy, the God who sees us. We thank you that you look for the good and the beauty and the wonder and the value in each of us. That you recognize what is in our hearts, what is on our minds, what's going on in our lives, and that we are not forgotten or put aside. We thank you that in your eyes, we are truly loved children. And I pray that each of us would be able to see others with the love and the joy that you see us. That we are looking out for it amid distraction, amid challenge, that we are looking out for it in each other, the beauty of your creation. Amen.